Magandang gabi mga kawanluna. Another interesting episode na naman ang inihahandog sa inyo ng Brown Pond Productions dito sa TV Kuto. Ito po ang inyong katropa, kaibigan at kakampi, si Atty. Manuelito Manny Luna sa programang Oneluna sa TV Kuto. Bago po tayo mag-umpisa, gusto po nating pasalamatan yung ating mga kawanluna supporters all over the country and even abroad, yung ating mga kababayang OFWs na yung iba ay nandito, yung iba naman ay nasa abroad sa ngayon. So, magandang gabi po sa ating mga OFWs. At of course, hindi po natin nakakalimutan yung sakripisyo ng ating mga frontliners, mga medical and health frontliners na kung wala po sila, siguro lumubog na po tayo dahil dito sa pandemya. Maraming salamat po mga medical and health frontliners, mga doktor, nurses, and other health professionals. And of course, gusto rin nating pasalamatan dito sa Oneluna yung ating mga pulis at mga miyembro ng militar na I consider or we consider as frontliners din po dito sa laban kontra virus or virus na nagdudulot ng COVID-19. So maraming salamat. And of course, yung ating IATF, yung DOH, and our President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, na hindi po tayo pinapabayaan. He's always there as the father of the nation, protecting us from harm at napakaganda po ng pamamalakat ng ating gobyerno dahil po sa tapang at malasakit ng ating Pangulong Duterte. Salamat po, Mr. President, Mayor Digong Duterte, at of course, yung ating mga delivery personnel. They are also frontliners po, yung mga nagde-deliver ng mga pagkain at ibang mga goods sa atin. Dahil po, most of the time, tayo ay required to be in our own homes para mapigilan or ma-minimize yung spread ng virus. Itong SARS-CoV-2 which causes itong deadly COVID-19. Mga kawanluna, ang magandang balita is that nabawasan na po ng malaki yung bilang ng infections, no? So, salamat po ng marami sa DOH at sa ating IATF. Kay General Galvez, General Lorenzana, and all the others, including Secretary Duque. And of course, nagpapasalamat din po ako kay Senator Bongo, the Chairman of the Senate Health Committee, no, na hindi po pinapabayaan yung ating Pangulo dito sa pagsukpo nitong virus which causes COVID-19. Maraming salamat po, Senator BG. At sa ngalan po ng Oneluna, gusto po nating imbitahan yung ating mga kaibigan, mga katropa, and mga kawanluna sa ating FB page. Mapapanood po yung Oneluna sa at TV Koto Official, sa Twitter at TV Koto Official, at sa YouTube makikita din po tayo o mapapanood sa TV Koto channel. At gusto rin po nating imbitahan yung ating mga audience, yung ating mga kawanluna, and of course, yung ating mga kababayan in the Philippines and even abroad, na panoorin yung ibang programa sa TV Koto. Yung Women, na every Tuesday, alas 10 po ng umaga yan, at yung coming soon, yung Eagles Hour. Of course, yung Oneluna ay pinapalabas po natin dito sa TV Koto every Thursday. Webes po yan, alas 8 ng gabi. At makikita po natin dito sa ating at TV Koto Official sa FB, at TV Koto Official sa Twitter, at TV Koto Channel sa YouTube. So yan po, mga kawanluna, ngayong gabi ay very interesting ang ating episode. Dahil po, meron po tayong inimbitahan dito sa studio na mga batikang fast rising stars or legal eagles po sa legal profession. Sila po ay sina Kompanyera Attorney Baby Perian Arcega at Kompanyero Attorney Hans Roger Luna. Ang tatalakayin po natin yung batas at teknolohiya sa panahon po ng COVID-19. So, ang tabayanan, maya-maya po, makikita na po natin itong dalawang panauhin natin, our resource persons, as we will tackle with them itong topic ngayong gabi, batas at teknolohiya. Dito lang po sa Oneluna. Nagbabalik po ang Oneluna dito sa TV ko to ng Brown Pond Productions at ito po yung inyong lingkod at kaibigan si Atty. Manuelito Maniluna. Ngayong gabi ay meron tayong dalawang guests who are very special to me. Ang isa po ay isang batikang abogado at former vice mayor. Tapos ang isa is my 1 peso consultant before when I was in government. No? At isa ding sumisikat na abogada ngayon sa ating bansa. So, I'm referring to Attorney Baby Perian Arcega. She is a graduate of the University of the Philippines. At gusto nating bigyan si Attorney Baby ng konting minuto para mag-introduce sa kanyang sarili so that our audience, yung ating mga ka-Oneluna will know who Attorney Baby Perian Arcega is. Attorney Baby, kompanyera, welcome to the program, Oneluna.
Thank you, kompanyero.
Salamat.
Panyero, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Panyero.
So my name is Attorney Baby Perian Arcega at sabi nga ni Panyero Manny kanina, I graduated from the University of the Philippines, Diliman for my undergrad. My law school, I graduated from San Beda College, now known as San Beda University.
The #1 university now in the country.
Yes, go San Beda. And may pending masteral track din ako sa San Beda University for my Master of Laws degree. So right now I'm a private and solo practitioner. I have my office, Arcega Law Office, and I'm currently handling cases, 80% of which is criminal cases. I think it's because of my former affiliation with the Public Attorney's Office at saka sa DOJ na ang nilalapit sa akin mga kaso ay criminal cases.
So, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, mga ka-Oneluna, ang aking kaibigan na si Attorney Baby Perian Arcega, a very distinguished lawyer. Siya po ay criminal defense lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. No? The best description is criminal defense attorney, right?
Yes.
So, we will give also our good friend and my cousin, Attorney Hans Roger Luna, the opportunity. Ito po ay formerly Vice Mayor ng isang town sa Abra, no? The province of Abra in the north. At siya po ay isa sa mga resource persons natin ngayong gabi sa programang Oneluna. So, Kas.
Magandang gabi, kumpanyero and kumpanyera. Bali ako si Attorney Hans Roger Shares Luna. Graduate ako sa Arellano University ng Law School. Bale, Vice Mayor ako dati, pero pagkapasa ko ng bar, 10 years ago, nag-practice na ako. Iniwan ko na ang politics muna para gusto ko ma-experience yung laban sa korte. So, hindi ko naman masabing batikan ako, pero may mga experience na rin dahil sa 10 years. So, madami na rin akong nahawakan sa sandigan, lalong-lalo na sa sandigan. Madami kong hawak dyan na cases.
You're referring
criminal
to
cases.
Sandigan Bayan.
Sandigan
yung
Bayan.
anti-graft court natin.
Yes. Bale, doon ako mas tutok at doon ang mga cases talaga na hawak ko.
At saka, that's a court where you really have to be prepared. On top of your toes. Kasi collegial court yan eh. Hindi pa, Attorney Baby, have you experienced also appearing before sa isang collegial court like the Sandigan Bayan or Court of Appeals?
I have a case before the Court of Appeals. Nanalo ako sa case na yun recently.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But not for, I don't have any case,
Please look at the
I'm
camera.
not handling any case before the Sandigan Bayan. Not yet.
But sooner or later you will have. With your caliber, Attorney Baby, I'm sure na magkakaroon ka ng kaso dyan. Not only that, perhaps in the Supreme Court.
Oh.
The dream of every lawyer is to appear before the Supreme Court and to address the court in oral argument, no? Yan po ang panaginip, ang dream ng every lawyer. So, we'll start with itong nangyaring changes, no? Sa ating sistema sa korte. While the quest for justice has not stopped, it continues to this day. Even as we speak, nandyan pa rin yung ating korte. Nandyan yung criminal justice system, nandyan yung prosecution, nandyan yung defense, nandyan yung community, nandyan yung mga pillars of justice. So, hindi po prevent ng Korte Suprema yung pag-hold ng mga hearings and trials and even mga pre-trials. So, we want to hear from our resource persons ngayong gabi. We'll start probably with Attorney Arcega, no? Si kumpanyera, kung ano yung naging changes. Kasi we have to balance yung the need to protect public health saka yung quest for justice. Hindi naman pwedeng isakripisyo either of them, pero nagkaroon ng balancing eh. So, ano itong mga protocol na sinusunod para mabalanse and to ensure that the public is still satisfied with our justice system. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng i-stop po yan. Because crimes have to be prosecuted and justice has to be exacted. Di po ba? So, we will hear from Attorney Baby kung ano itong mga changes na nangyari ngayon in the light of the fact that we have to protect public health at the same time continue the quest for justice.
Yes, kumpanyero,
Yes.
nung nagkaroon ng lockdown before, the initial lockdown, there was actually a physical closure of all courts for, I think, around 3 months. And at that time, since I'm a criminal
You're
defense...
referring to the quarantine time.
Yes, the quarantine time. Right after the, yung pagputok nung pandemya. There has to be a physical closure.
It was sometime in March,
March,
April,
March
May.
13 to, yes,
Yeah.
about 3 months after that. And then we finally had to live with the virus. Pero during those time, since I'm a criminal, mostly a criminal defense attorney, may mga client ako na nakakulong. They had to bear the brunt. There's no balance there at all kasi everyone was scared for their lives. And we can understand why.
And even us.
Even us. Ang problema nun, we know that the pandemic will pass. It will end. But we cannot really give back the months that, in my case, my clients stayed in prison without trial, and
they may turn out to be innocent after all.
and they are presumptively, under the Constitution, innocent. And in my case, my client are actually innocent.
Yes.
I want to say that. You see, ang problema doon, there was no balance for a time. And then, when we finally learned to live with the virus without the vaccine, medyo mabagal pa din. But yes, the Supreme Court has passed several circulars to achieve that balance so that justice will not be, set aside.
Or
during this
compromise,
pandemic.
no?
Or compromise.
Kasi yung ating hustisya, ang sistema ng hustisya sa Pilipinas po, unlike sa US na jury system, tayo is adversarial, no?
Yes.
Ibig sabihin, the rule is still the same na mag-appear ka sa korte and then magkakaroon ng hearing or trial doon or pre-hearing or pre-trial, no? Presided over by a judge. So, pero baby, in your experience, kung ang judge, for example, is say 60 or over 60 years old, nagko-conduct pa ba siya ng face-to-face hearing or trial in the courtroom, or merong ginawang change doon ang ating Korte Suprema para ma-address yung health concern naman ng judge? Kasi we have to understand that wala namang immune dito eh. So we have to protect the judge, we have to protect the prosecutor, maybe over 60 years old, and even the practitioners, no? So anong nangyari tungkol dyan based on your experience?
In my case kasi, the Supreme Court said that in its circular, its circular, the Supreme Court allowed in-court hearings as a general rule, and you have to file a joint motion for it to be heard via your cases to be tried or heard via video conferencing. And in my case, in one of my cases, it's a drug case. The judge is over 65 years old, so she's classified as a senior citizen. She had to write a letter to the Supreme Court requesting that hearings be done by video conferencing considering her age.
Oh, so yun ang parang exception, no? She was pleading for the exception doon sa general rule na
Yes.
in court appearances pa rin, pero in some cases, you can ask for an online or a web or video conferencing.
Yes.
Paano ba ito ginagawa? We'll come back to you, kay Attorney Hans Roger, kompanyero. Paano ba ito ginagawang video conferencing or web or online trial, hearing, or other incidents sa kaso?
Bale, kompanyero, yung hearing is video conference.
Yes.
So, kung mag-hearing na kayo, a day before or 2 hours before the hearing, may ipapadala silang email.
Parang code?
Yes, and then may invitation doon sa email. Ang ginagamit ng court ngayon natin is Microsoft Teams.
Microsoft Teams ang tawag, the application, no?
Yung application. So, i-click mo yon, papasok ka na doon sa room.
So, it presupposes na either nagmoto proprio, nagtawag ng video conferencing yung judge, or there's a motion that was approved for video conferencing. Yun ang preliminary bago magkaroon ng ganong klaseng incident na wherein walang face-to-face in-court appearances, pero doon ka sa iyong laptop, for example, or sa computer, sa desktop.
Ang experience ko kasi, may circular noon ng Supreme Court, sinabi na update the court na meron kayong pending cases, update nyo yung email and the cellphone number. So, nag-update kami, nagbigay kami ng cellphone number and email. Doon, after a month or 2 months, may mga notices na for video conference. So,
Pero pumunta ka pa ba sa korte, kumpanyero, for that purpose alone o hindi na?
hindi na. Kasi may mga email eh. At yung circular order kasi, sinunod namin na hinanap namin sa internet yung mga number ng court and may pre-provide naman sa Supreme Court website kung ano yung mga email address ng mga court.
Yan ang maganda, Attorney Baby.
Oo, nasa Supreme Court.
Attorney Luna, because, kumpanyeros, because prepared yung korte.
Oo.
So, in fairness to the court
Maganda yung mechanism.
Meron talagang silang provide na sistema.
Yung mechanism.
Yung mechanism on how to do it. Kasi mahirap yung you will just guess or ikaw yung mag-provide ng paraan and it's not official. So what the Supreme Court and the Office of the Court Administrator perhaps
Nagbigay sila ng mga email na ng court.
Nagbigay ng guidance, no? Through circulars, tapos yung mechanics they provided to the lawyers.
Yes.
So, pwede bang gumamit ng text, for example, i-text mo yung clerk of court inquiring about matutuloy ba yung aming video conferencing o hindi? Attorney Baby.
Yes, they have cell phone numbers dun sa Supreme Court website. Meron din sa court mismo, nakapaskil sa labas ng court nila. And you can call them, you can text them. Sobrang amazing how court staff, how court people are really living or adjusting. Kasi talagang sumasagot sila.
I cannot imagine how difficult the challenge is, no? Kasi syempre, they'll be flooded with itong mga text messages, emails, and they will have to read all of this, no? Kailangan basahin nila. And then, kailangan replyan. They have to reply online.
Yes.
Kasi usually, wala na yung written na orders. Although in certain cases, meron pa rin. Let's say, after the online, lalabas ang korte ng isang written order, pwede yon.
Doble trabaho sila because they always have a written order kasi kailangan physically signed. They scan it, they send it online so that we can receive it. Aside from the hard copy, we have an e-copy of whatever order is from the court.
Okay. Now, let me go into itong e-filing. The two of you, kayong active practitioners, no, mga kumpanyeros, you know what is e-filing, no? So, paano ba ito sinasagawa? At how effective is this? Or efficient? Itong e-filing. Kasi may narinig din ako na ang DOJ or mga prosecutors, they do e-filing. So, in your case, have you experienced this e-filing?
Kumpanyero, bale yung e-filing, mas maganda, mas efficient, tapos hindi siya magastos. Kasi hindi mo na kailangan magpa-Xerox. Hindi mo na kailangan mag-mail through LBC or through Philippine Postal, di ba?
Okay.
Hindi mo na kailangan mag-utos ng tao. So, ang gagawin na lang namin, yung soft copy, i-convert mo siya sa PDF. So, pag na-convert na siya sa PDF, pwede mo nang i-send sa parties involved. Tapos, pag na-send ko na...
In short, i-copy-furnish mo yung...
Yes, i-copy-furnish mo lahat yung mga parties involved. So, yun na yun. Pero para minsan, para sigurado din ako, after ko ma-e-file, para to avoid technicalities, gumagamit pa rin ako ng
yung
postal.
Black and white, at saka black and white na nagpe-prepare ka ng isang legal document.
Yes.
Tapos, now, we go to Kumpanyera Baby, no? Aside from itong e-filing, ano pang ibang sistema or mechanism na inadapt ng korte which you think ay maganda dahil we do away with face-to-face transactions. Kasi when the public deals with the court, that's also considered a transaction, right? So ngayon, dinidiscourage na yan yung face-to-face eh. So aside from e-filing, ano pang ginagawa ninyo in the course of your practice na sa tingin nyo ay maganda ang naging sistema at resulta?
I think yung pagiging versatile ng court sa mga trial. Trial is the most tricky part kasi pagdating sa video conferencing. And criminal cases is also very sensitive kahit sa mga e-filing kasi meron kang kalaban dyan, in my case, mga private prosecutors
Na magagaling din,
na,
of course.
yes, and very
Experienced.
and will exploit every little mistake that you have. So,
Pero may mga shortcut ba dyan? O bawal yung shortcutting? Or cutting corners? Kasi you're talking of the quest for justice. To me, there should be no shortcutting. But
Yes.
you should be creative also and innovative. Kasi you have to employ technology in the light of this pandemic that we are experiencing.
Yes, in one of my cases, na yung client ko nakakulong, and the witness for the prosecution is a government agent or government employee. I want to make sure na walang coaching na mangyayari. Kasi if you do the video conferencing, hindi mo alam kung anong nangyayari behind the camera. Tapos yung judge noon, kasi senior na siya, nasa ano siya, bahay. So naka-video conference kami, but I requested that I am present in court together with the witness. So
Just to make sure
na
walang coaching.
yes, because as you said, we cannot compromise justice. We cannot cut corners when it's a person's life.
Especially
at
sa
stake.
criminal cases.
Especially in criminal cases where my client is facing life imprisonment.
Possible life imprisonment or
imprisonment.
even reclusion perpetua in other cases.
Yes, you can hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na I need to protect myself. I need to be at home and make sure na I'm safe.
But of course, when you are there, you took precautions.
I took every precaution.
Like what?
Maximum precaution sa akin.
Example?
Dalawang face mask. I have face shield. I have goggles.
Okay.
And I stay in one corner.
Yung distance
Distance talagang malayo.
na maintain,
Yes,
physical
and
distancing.
talagang from the moment I go to the court until I get home, hindi ko hinahawakan yung mukha ko kahit nakahugas na ako.
But you also bring alcohol, for
Yes.
example.
Sabi yan ng judge one time, grabe naman si Atty. Arcega kung maka-alcohol kasi bawat kilos ko.
Well, we'll go back to Kompanyero Roger here, Hans. In your case, anong experience mo doon? That you have to go to court still to make sure na yung witness ng kabila hindi magsisinungaling or hindi tinuturuan ng kanyang abogado. In the quest for justice kasi we cannot cut corners . That's the rule. Kasi kawawa naman, let's say for example, presumed innocent tapos nagkaroon ng konting, alam mo na, pandaraya and then makonvict. I think that's injustice. And as a lawyer, it's your obligation to ensure na hindi mangyayari yon and that all the safeguards are in place and that your health also is not compromised at the same time. Na-experience mo ba yun?
Sa experience ko, para maiwasan natin yung injustice, yung marking of evidence, ginagawa ko talaga physically sa loob ng court.
So in court ka?
Oh, in court. Mas maganda kasi yun para at least pag may comparison, makita mo na kung original siya, authentic siya, or genuine siya,
possible
diba?
Din
Mahirap
kompanyero na baka wala silang original tapos they came up with a Xerox. Hindi mo alam kung saan galing yun, no? It will violate the best evidence rule, no?
Yes.
Ang best evidence po, mga kaibigan, mga ka-Oneluna, has something to do with the original. Dapat kasi pag may Xerox ka na dokumento, may original siya.
Yes.
Kung saan binasehan o kinopya yung Xerox. Kasi kung Xerox lang yan, hindi yan admissible as a rule. Di ba? So, what else, kompanyero?
Yun nga, sa comparison, doon mo na makikita, physical talaga, inside the court talaga yung marking, para at least makita mo na kung genuine,
How about
authentic.
yung real evidence, for example, yung knife or barrel? You have to see that.
Lalo na pag document. Kasi pag document kasi hindi mo siya makikita kung authentic ba sa genuine sa video conference.
O baka may mga intercalations doon, mga bura.
May mga nabura. So mas maganda pa rin na
kasi makikita mo
mga document, lalo yung mga document marking sa document, kailangan makita mo mismo para at least.
Pero how do you protect yourself from possible infection? Kasi you have to be concerned also of your health.
Yun pa rin, sinusunod natin yung protocol ng court dahil may mga certain protocols naman every court . So, kung ano yung ini-impose nila, sinusunod ko. Kasi pag hindi natin sinunod, baka ma-compromise lahat.
Okay.
Nakakaya.
Now, Attorney Baby, physically yung courtroom, anong changes dun sa courtroom? Meron ba?
Yes.
May mga harang-harang ba dyan na, I don't know because I'm no longer practicing. I'm a lawyer po, abogado po si Atty. Luna, pero hindi na po ako nagpa-practice. So itong dalawang kumpanyero and kumpanyera ko, alam nila than me kung ano na nangyari sa court insofar as the physical makeup of the court is concerned.
Yes, the physical makeup of the court is completely different now. So merong harang...
Parang spaceship na ba?
May mga harang-harang na.
Di naman.
yung dun sa judge, the judges, ano ba tawag dun? Kung nasan yung judge, kung saan siya nakaupo.
Yung high bench.
Yes, the high bench. Merong harang.
May harang.
It's glass, made of glass, I think. In some cases, parang plastic.
Parang plastics.
And then, aside from that, the lawyer's tables are divided by these plastic or glass partitions.
May social distancing
and there
sa
is a
loob.
microphone na may stand. Tapos, para marinig ka kasi baka magkaroon ng mga sound barriers dahil doon sa mga partitions.
So, it's really different from the courtroom na nakasanayan natin.
Yes. And kudos to the court. Grabe. I think some of them did that at their own expense. And sobrang amazing how they did that para lang matuloy ang mga in-court hearings.
So, yan mga kaibigan nakikita nyo naman. Ito, from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Galing na ito kay kumpanyero Hans Roger at kay kumpanyera Baby Arcega, no? So, klarong-klaro na walang compromise nangyari dito sa quest for justice, no?
Yeah.
Despite the use of technology, ang programa nga natin ngayon, ang episode is entitled Batas at Teknolohiya. But technology should not be used to suppress yung quest for truth and justice. So, nakikita natin may mga changes physically and of course, yung protocol sinusunod. Pero, yung essence ng hustisya ay hindi nagbago at all.
Hindi, walang pagbabago.
Hindi nagbabago.
Same rules pa rin.
So that's the assurance that we get from the Supreme Court and all the courts all over the country. So pasalamat po tayo mga Oneluna sa ating mga WES, sa prosecutors, sa mga defense lawyers and other lawyers, mga practitioners, ang Korte Suprema, Office of the Court Administrator. They really made sure na yung quest for justice ay hindi na compromise at yung katotohanan ay lalabas talaga.
Yes.
Despite all the adjustments, physical, tapos technological, na put in place para safeguard naman yung publiko. How about yung mga kliyente nyo? Required pa ba sila mag-appear o hindi na? Baby?
Same rule applies na kapag sa criminal cases, the accused is only required to appear during arraignment for purposes of identification and promulgation.
So in short, hindi na masyadong required yung physical presence except during arraignment, no?
Yes.
Saka yung pag-identify ng siguro yung judicial affidavit, tama ba ako? Kailangan pa ba ng physical presence ng
kasi sa
Attorney Roger?
Sa presentation of evidence talaga, in court talaga yun.
So, kailangan nandun siya.
Yes.
Saka yung identification, no?
Yes.
Ng akusado, as the
yung
perpetrator of the crime, kailangan andun din yung, say, detention prisoner.
The detention prisoners kasi cannot leave the detention facility.
Paano sila na-identify? Through video conferencing?
Yes, still through
video conference.
Or through admissions. I-admit na lang ng other party kung
yeah.
hindi naman disputed yung identity. And if they raise another defense, pwedeng stipulate na lang.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yun.
May client din akong na-arraign through video conference. Nasa bahay siya. Nasa bahay din ako.
So, on
as
bail
his
siya,
defense counsel.
out on bail siya.
Out on bail siya. So,
pwede rin ganun, ha?
oo.
So, mga kaibigan, no? Nakikita nyo yung mga innovations.
Yung arraignment kasi dati,
First time
personal
natin naririnig ito, but this is really caused by the circumstances, eh. Kailangan talaga, eh. So, whether we like it or not, these changes and adjustments have to be made.
Yes.
So mga Oneluna, I hope ngayong gabi ay na-inform ho kayo nitong dalawang batikang fast rising stars legal eagles no, ng ating bansa, si Atty. Hans Roger Luna, my cousin, and Atty. Baby Perian Arcega. So, parting words from our kompanyera and kompanyero. We'll start with Atty. Roger.
Salamat sa pakikinig sa Oneluna, and thank you sa mga ka-Oneluna. Sana maimbitahan ulit kami para magbigay ulit ng unting kaalaman or experience namin sa trial during pandemic.
At sa paghanap ng hustisya. Okay, thank you. Former Vice Mayor, no? Atty. Hans Roger Luna, my cousin. Now, Atty. Baby Perian Arcega, my very good friend, one of the best lawyers of the country, na alam ko ngayon ay may konting ginawa siyang would you like to share with us yung iyong ginagawa ngayon aside from practicing pala? Muntik ko na makalimutan, mga ka-Oneluna. So, you hear this kasi maganda ito. Very interesting.
Okay. So aside from practicing law as a litigator, as a defense attorney, I'm also sort of an entrepreneur.
Oh, that's very good, ha? Maganda yan, ha? Narinig mo naman, kompanyero, ha? Ang ganda yan, ha?
Mukhang may susundan na tayo ng being entrepreneur.
So, ano yung business na you are engaged in?
Okay, it's actually my sister's business. Partner lang ako per se. It's a coffee business. And
meron ka bang sample na pwede ipakita sa ating mga ka-Oneluna po? Ito po yung coffee na sinasabi ni Atty. Baby Perian.
The brand name is Respectfully Yours. And tinaon to ng sister ko ngayon na makatulong tayo sa mga local farmers. Because these are the suppliers of these coffee are from different parts of the country, mga local farmers.
So can you mention kung saan yung mga source?
So this is Respectfully Yours Coffee Tuba, and this is from Benguet.
Sa Benguet?
Iba yung Benguet eh.
Sa Benguet?
Oo, sa Benguet.
Benguet. Iba. So, but it's very near, right?
Same, Cordillera region.
Cordillera region. So, very proud yata si cousin dyan. Kasi galing, less from...
Cordilleran ako eh.
Cordilleran siya eh. You know the regionalistic feeling, no?
Yes.
Yung car, no? So, yun po, klarong-klaro. And then, ano pa?
There's also the guma. This is from farmers, supplied by farmers from Sultan Kudarat.
From Mindanao naman to.
From Mindanao, yes.
Sultan Kudarat po ay isa sa mga probinsya sa Central Mindanao. At ito po ay isang sikat na source ng coffee ngayon. Yung Arabica.
Arabica, yes.
Galing Sultan Kudarat po yan, mga ka-Oneluna. And Sultan Kudarat is very near Cotabato, Maguindanao, and of course the Ilonggo provinces. Nandyan yung Sarangani, Jensan, nandyan yung South Cotabato, North Cotabato. So, baby, maganda ito, no? So, ito yung pwedeng gawin ng isang abogado. We cannot just rely on practice kasi ngayon dahil whether we like it or not, nabawasan yung kita.
Yeah, nabawasan yung load.
Yes.
So, we have to adjust. Pwedeng maging lawyer, entrepreneur, lawyer, farmer. I've heard of somebody, a friend of mine, who's into farming.
Wow.
He's a lawyer, a very good one, but he's into farming, raising some animals, domestic animals, and that's very good. Ngayon, confine tayo mostly sa ating mga bahay lamang, at para kumita tayo, ma-feel natin yung nabawasan sa atin in terms of kita or income, pwedeng ganito. You can be an entrepreneur or a lawyer farmer.
Yes.
So, this is very nice to hear from Atty. Baby. Supplyan mo naman ako ng coffee mo.
Yes, these are all yours.
Salamat po, salamat.
For Atty. Luna.
So, narinig niyo po, mga ka-Oneluna, a very interesting discussion na nangyari ngayong gabi sa Oneluna dahil po no less than 2 of the fast-rising stars, legal eagles, if I may term them, ay nandito po sa atin at nag-share ng thoughts and experience nila dito sa kanilang pag-practice in the time of COVID-19. I'm referring to Attorney Baby Perian Arcega and Attorney Hans Roger Luna. So, mga kawan Luna, narinig nyo ngayong gabi yung sharing of thoughts and experiences ng ating mga dalawang guests na si Attorney Baby Perian Arcega and Attorney Hans Roger Luna tungkol sa kanilang adjustments at saka pagsunod dito sa mga protocol na ini-impose ng ating IATF. At sana nakuha nyo yung kanilang shinare in a way na ngayon ma-realize po natin na walang compromise na nangyari in the quest for truth and justice. So maganda po itong segment natin, itong episode ng Oneluna dahil despite the busy schedules nitong dalawang kompanyero and kompanyera natin, ay napagbigyan po tayo. So, Attorney Baby, maraming salamat. Attorney Hans Roger, maraming salamat. Mga ka-Oneluna, magbabalik po kami. Welcome back mga ka-Oneluna. So ngayong gabi ay nakita po natin, natunghayan po natin yung ating interview sa dalawang abogado, sina Attorney Baby Perian Arcega at Attorney Hans Roger Luna. Ang ating topic ay napaka-importante at sana nagdulot po ito ng impormasyon na kailangan po ninyo ngayong panahon. Kasi hindi naman ibig sabihin na kung confined po tayo to our homes at may mga protocol, ay hindi na po umiikot ang hustisya natin. Umiikot pa rin po as you have learned. So marami po tayong natutunan sa dalawang panauhin natin ngayong gabi, si Attorney Arcega at si Attorney Luna. At ang inyong kaibigan po, si Attorney Manny Luna, while isa po tayong abogado, hindi na po tayo nagpa-practice. So, maganda po ang naging usapan namin, talakayan, at nakita po natin na hindi po nagbago yung quest for justice ng ating court system. Included na po dyan yung community, yung prosecution, yung law enforcement, yung defense, and the pillars of the criminal justice system. So, nagpapasalamat po tayo sa dalawang panauhin natin, si Attorney Baby Perian Arcega and Attorney Hans Roger Luna sa kanilang sharing. So, yung ating Oneluna program po ay pwede natin panoorin every Thursday, 8 in the evening sa ating FB page ay pwede ninyong i-tune in ang programa sa @TV Koto Official, sa Twitter @TV Koto Official, at sa YouTube TV Koto Channel. At gusto po nating anyayahan din po yung ating mga kawaluna na manood ng other programa or programs ng ating TV Koto, yung Women every Tuesday, 10 a.m. at coming soon, ang tabayanan po natin, yung Eagles Hour. So, sa susunod na Webes ay magbabalik po ang Oneluna sa inyong mga online platforms. Maraming salamat sa ngalan po ng TV Koto at Brown Pond Productions. Ito po ang inyong kaibigan, si Atty. Manuelito Maniluna sa programang Oneluna.